Hello, my name is Emily, as you may or may not know, and I've made a mistake. Because for those of you who love the yapping videos, you're not going to get just one, but you're gonna get 2 yapping videos in a row. Hoorah, hoorah, and the crowd went wild. People are throwing their bras at me. People are throwing their panties at me. Oh, why are these things a little... Never mind. I was going to say, why are these things a little wet? Because I was going to make a joke about the bras being sweaty, but then I realized when I say that, it's going to allude to the fact that I also just said panties. And who knows? Who knows? Right? Don't underestimate the power of It's gonna be a yapping video and also a little bit of a vlog. I have to get a scrapbook for my girlfriend. It was just our anniversary, so I made a kind of like a storybook where my favorite animal is a tiger and her favorite animal is a snake. So I kind of went through some of our main memories in the beginning of our relationship, but drew us as like tiger and snake, like going through the memories. It's so cute, right? Of course I am a wonderful girlfriend. I'm just kidding. But so I need to get a scrapbook. I need to get multivitamins, goddammit. I think one of the reasons that I am losing a lot of hair, right? Maybe it's because I'm malnourished. That definitely could be a possibility. I'm sitting here saying to myself, why do I feel a bit fatigued and I'm losing a lot of hair? Meanwhile, the only thing I ate that day was French fries and ice water, right? That's not good. I also need to work on, sorry, trigger warning for maybe like ED. I don't have an ED, but I have bad eating habits that aren't motivated by looking any sort of way. It's just motivated out of like, I'd rather do something else, like lay down or walk around, right? Like, food is expensive sometimes. And to eat 3 meals a day, obviously I would love to do that, but ultimately, I think sometimes people only have a certain tax bracket and people of a certain willpower are able to do that, right? And unfortunately, that's not me, right? Unfortunately, that's not me. So what was I even freaking talking about? So I want to get multivitamins. Obviously, multivitamins are not a supplement for a meal, but it could maybe help me a little bit. And even if my hair keeps falling out, like, at least I have more nutrients. So I have my list of things that I want to say here. I've been realizing that I really only read from the very beginning of my note or the very end of my note. So you know what? I'm going to kind of just scroll and land on one randomly because all of these things in the middle are kind of like a bit unbeknownst to me, right? I haven't touched it in a while. Okay. I don't remember writing this. If you get erectile dysfunction in your early 20s because you were yanking your hog nonstop, that's just your penis protecting its peace. Right. So, erectile dysfunction. No hate to people who have early onset erectile dysfunction. Honestly, if I had a penis, hell, I'd probably have it too. And I think a lot of people without penises have thought this to themselves before too. If I had a peener, it would be standing at attention. It would literally be high flagpole 24/7, not 24/7, but yeah, I can understand how guys develop erectile dysfunction early because, well, they're paying more attention to their neener pumpkin eater than to the news or current events, right? They can't tell you, you know, the political tensions between mainland China and Hong Kong, but you know what they are able to tell you? About the name of about 25 porn stars. And honestly, if I were the neener pumpkin eater of a guy whose main hobby is to be actually yanking me back and forth, also, it's like, sorry, should I be talking about this so early in the video? I'm gonna get demonetized. Maybe I'll edit it so that this isn't the first thing I say and I'll scooch it later in the video, but there would come a point where I would be like, you know what? If you don't leave me alone, then I'm just gonna be limp. I'm literally, you know what erectile dysfunction is? It's like possums playing dead, right? I'm gonna play dead so you don't bother me, right? Is it too much to ask for me to just be flaccid every once in a while? I want to be left alone, so you know what? I'm not going to be standing at any sort of attention. How about you take up a different hobby like knitting? You could go outside and kick around a soccer ball even. Also, I'm just thinking about the fact that I am 26 years old and I keep saying neener. But it sounds penis just sounds too medical, sounds too technical, right? Also, look at this bracelet that I got. It's made out of a metal coil that I actually went to a vintage pop-up, right? And I spent so much money at this young lady's booth that she gave me a free bracelet. Yeah, da 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 da. Okay. You know when restaurants have those challenges where it's like, eat this monstrous burger and we'll put your photo on the wall. What if there was what if there was an entire wall just filled with the same guy? And I'm talking small photos, like a Polaroid. Right, right. You know, this actually reminds me, me and my friends were at this restaurant and they had this thing where it was like a food challenge where if you drink this huge freak, like I'm not joking, the container, so for my head for reference, and also for reference, I have a big head, right? So the drink was like this, the drink was honestly this big, right? And to be frank, there was a lot of ice in there, but the challenge is basically to drink this much of like a margarita or some sort of alcoholic drink with, I guess maybe there's a limit, maybe there's not, but it was two guys doing the challenge. And you have to drink the entire drink in 15 seconds. Guys, a drink this big, mind you, this large, you have to drink in 15 seconds. And they did it. They did it. And guess what the prize is? More alcohol. Obviously, they take your picture and put it up on the wall as also another sort of prize. And we were looking at the people on the wall, and most of them, it was like a group, right? And then there was just one photo of just one girl who could not be over like 24. And it was just her. She drank the whole dang thing in under 15 seconds. I mean, girl, that's incredible. But I feel like people who do challenges like that, I'm like, is this a spur of the moment thing? Is this something that you have to mentally prepare for? Because I'm just thinking about for myself, I would need to prepare my mind and body to do anything in excess like that, right? I'm sorry, gulping down an alcoholic beverage that is this freaking large. First of all, I have a horrible alcohol tolerance. I would be about 3 gulps in and then I would be face planted down on the floor. Even say if I were in a group of people, I wouldn't be pulling that much weight, right? It would be me, 3 gulps, I'm on the floor. Maybe the rest of the people in my group win the challenge. They're gonna have to raise my limp body for the photo, right? Even things that are eating, like, I'm sorry, peace and love to these people. It truly is a skill, but those hot dog eating competitions, oh, I'm about to be sick. I'm about to be sick. I think that I enjoy a hot dog if I'm not thinking too hard about what's in it. But just chowing down super, super fast like that, it's one of those things where it's like, are you being paid to do this? Because for the food challenges that are in the restaurants, it's like you're putting down the money to be like, hi, could I get the push myself to the brink burger, right? Or the testing my limits tequila. All right, next one. Okay, call out to little Miss Anne Hathaway, right? I would hate to be Ella Enchanted. She has to do everything she's told. That would literally suck. Thank God the military didn't get their hands on her. Honestly, if you think about it, the concept of Ella Enchanted could have been so much darker. It could have been so much darker. I mean, obviously, she wasn't in the best of situations because her stepsisters were birches, right? Her stepsisters were bitches, right? Her stepmother, well, I saw the movie such a long time ago, but obviously the stepmother always also has to be quite unpleasant. But at least she wasn't being told to like kill people. Or maybe she might have been in the very end. She might have, spoiler alert, that movie is like almost decades old. But it like, at least she wasn't, at least like some mafia boss didn't, have power over her saying, oh, can you stab that 16-year-old kid because he owes me $3. And then like even beyond that, like I was saying, military use, right? Nuclear weapons. They'd be able to tell Ella Enchanted, hey, cut the red wire and push this button. Now all of a sudden an entire country is missing. And then they're able to scapegoat saying, this estranged, crazy white woman came into our establishment and just started hitting all the buttons like they're, you know, teenagers in the elevator. Oh, okay, well, this is something that I've talked about in my video about dating shows, right? But I wrote down here, if my girlfriend ever asked me to go on the queer ultimatum, I would give them the ultimatum of either you tell me you're kidding right now or I'm going to smash my head into a cast iron skillet. Yeah, I mean, there's not much to really go over there. You know, I will say that I only watched the first 3 episodes of the Queer Ultimatum this past season, but I have heard spoilers, right? So, spoilers, I guess, if you care. There's a girl who... Oh, just thinking about it is getting me irritated. I'm not even involved with the situation. There's a girl who got a matching tattoo with her trial wife, and apparently, also sorry, I could be like really saying misinformation because after all, this is just stuff I heard from the internet. I didn't actually watch this episode, but she got matching tattoos with her trial wife, and that is something that her real life girlfriend always wanted to do, right? Oh, I've always wanted to get matching tattoos with you. Like, it's like my dream for us as a couple. Trial wife did it in 2 weeks. I've been dating you for, you know, multiple years perhaps. Trial wife did it in 2 weeks. I'm getting angry just thinking about it. Imagine this. My girlfriend and I have been together for, mind you, I don't want matching tattoos. Let's say I did. I want a matching tattoo. Something nice, subtle. I'm not saying that we get a chest piece of each of our government names. Something dainty, something freaking tasteful, right? I've been wanting this for, let's say, 2.5 years. We go on this freaking stupid ass show. You've known this woman for 2 weeks and you're going to get that tattoo with her instead of me, your girlfriend that you have been with for 2.5 years. I'm about to start twitching. I'm a jealous person and I actively work on that every day, right? I'm always trying to be a better woman than I was the day before. But this is beyond jealousy, right? That would be beyond jealousy. If I were that girlfriend, I'm pretty sure there's a scene on the couch where, and again, this could just be blatantly wrong, but I remember seeing on TikTok a scene on the couch where the girl is like confronting the girlfriend who got the tattoo and she's like, I don't even know who you are anymore. And honestly, yeah. I'm sorry. 4 weeks ago, before we, you know, did the whole process to get on this show, you were saying, you know, telling me, oh, you know, I don't know. I don't really know if I want to get a tattoo. It's so permanent, and, you know, I already have so many, and da-da-da, and what if we don't agree on the same font, and da-da-da. And now you're telling me, oh, let's just move on. Oh, wait, okay, so here's something that I wrote that I know I must have been in my single era. Also, okay, wait, sorry. I also there's a few things I need to do today. I need to do the scrapbook. I need to get my multivitamins. And then I also need to do a self-tape for a commercial. And during that time, I want to talk about the humility of being an actor a little bit. But before that, let me say this thought. And this is interesting too because I'm in such a different mindset now. When I think about the idea of me being married, it's like I'm imagining a folklore fairy tale written by an author who might not even be real. They are more like an urban legend. So, as you all know, I had a really big phase. It was a couple years long where I just was not interested in romance. I thought that dating was a waste of time. I thought that I got to the point where I didn't picture myself getting married, and I was honestly fine with that. I was very comfortable being alone. And it's funny reading that now as someone how old are some of these notes? Me and my girlfriend just hit our year anniversary. So this is something that I had written down right below me not foreseeing marriage for myself. I can't believe that we were ever wearing skinny jeans, wrapping the buns and sausage up in cling wrap, like baby, let's let it breathe. Right. It's a beautiful thing being able to sort of document my train of thought in this notes app. But I remember when I was in middle school, I wore jeans that were so tight, they looked like they were fucking painted on. And that's just what the style was, right? It was, you have to, wear your night vision goggles through the Hollister, find the skinniest jeans that you could possibly, something where it's like, those special packing things that it's like you put your clothes in like this plastic seal thing and then you use a vacuum device to suction out all the air so everything is literally suctioned up. You need to find a pair of jeans that fits you like that. I was wearing pairs of blue skinny jeans that were so tight that I'm surprised that I didn't give myself, self-induced blue, what's that thing where like, it's something about like your vagina turns blue or something. Everyone in middle school was obsessed with it for some reason. It was like the same thing as naming things Bob or Joe or pancakes and waffles and stuff. Waffle! I would give myself self-induced, not just blue waffle of the vaginae, but of the entire lower half of my body, right? Me when I lie. That never happened. And the best thing about wearing skinny jeans is when that, you would get it over your bumsicle, right? But then you would have to lay down on your bed or even on the floor, right? And kind of shimmy it down your entire body as if you're peeling off a second skin. Like I'm some sort of python in the Amazon rainforest doing its shed or whatever. With the jeans that I wear now, they're so baggy that I could just undo the button and undo the fly and they would just fall straight to the ground, right? Because there's no clinging, there's no, oh my God, I bet that my lower half, and for guys who wear skinny jeans, I bet maybe if you stop wearing skinny jeans as someone with a pumpkin eater, maybe your penis would stop having erectile dysfunction, just as a way to say thank you. Right? Thank you for letting me breathe. I almost feel like guys who wear skinny jeans, it would be worse for them because if I was a member in the pair of skinny jeans that, like, if they were as tight as the skinny jeans that I was wearing, it would be like I was trying, like, someone get me out of here! Like literally, someone get me out of here. Also, sorry, I think that I'm rambling more than usual and it's taking me longer to get to the point. I think a part of that is that as I talk, I'm also trying to formulate a joke in my head. This is the last thing that I'm gonna read and then I'm gonna have to go ahead and do my self-tape. Duty calls. The stage is calling my name. The stage being literally my room. Having to shit in a toilet that isn't your own is like holding somebody else's baby. Like, I am so cautious and careful right now, and God forbid anything goes wrong. I think I have this thing, and I know that I can't be the only one. I cannot be the only one. I have, obviously, pee shyness, but more than that, poop shyness. If you're pee shy, you're gonna be poop shy, right? Obviously, poop is a step above pee. So that's like, if you're shy to even take off a little, camisole strap, you're gonna be shy to get butt booty ass naked. You know what I mean? Like, there's levels to this shit. There's levels to this literal shit, right? Taking a poop in someone else's bathroom, it's literally, I almost feel like I'm on trial or something. I almost feel like, and it's one of those things where I'm doing this because I freaking have to. I'm doing this because there's no other alternative for me. I have ran through every single possibility in my head. Would I be able to go home? Is there even maybe an establishment near me? Because here's the thing, oddly, I can poop in establishments just fine. Sometimes I have yet to be able to take a poop in my girlfriend's house, but I've taken plenty of poops in like my coffee shop of choice. And sometimes when you walk into the This is so freaking gross, but I am going to say it. I apologize. I know a lot of you guys eat while watching these videos, and listen, as a former nurse, these things just don't bother me. It's literally like talking about the weather, right? But sometimes when I go into a bathroom of a public establishment and I see that there's like well, perhaps stain there, and it looks like someone already did their business there as well, I'm like almost feel welcomed in a way, because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not the only one, right? No, I'm not the only one taking a poop in this freaking establishment. I've been talking about this for actually far too long. I need to do my self-tape. So I'm gonna take you guys with me to do my self-tape and kind of show you the behind the scenes life of an actor. Welcome to my crib. So the first thing that I need to do before I film a self-tape, obviously, sorry, I'm gonna detach you for a second. You're gonna become detached. For emotionally unavailable people, yeah, I bet you're used to that. First of all, my room is not super huge. It's not super optimized for self-tapes, right? Little room tour, right? Sorry, you're like connected to the microphone, but the microphone is not mobile. Room tour. Here is the ring light tripod. You can't see the microphone. The microphone. This is my period pad, my menstrual pad. Not the kind that is attached to my undergarments, but the kind that I lay on my bed, because I don't want to get period stains on my bed, because, oh, for you people who menstruate, you know that when a stain gets on your bed, it can throw off your whole entire fucking feng shui, because now I have to rearrange my day. I have to, I'm breaking out the hydrogen peroxide. I have to throw it into the washer and dryer now. And I don't even use my dryer, because my dryer makes everything really dry and crusty. Wait, this towel, I was using this towel to put over my pillow because I had oil in my hair. I oiled my hair. This towel, if you could feel it, I could give it to construction workers so that they could use it as sandpaper, right? So that's why I don't really use my dryer that much. These are my plushies and clothes that I haven't put away. So first things first, I have to change my outfit. Of course, I'm looking very gorgeous and beautiful, but this is not a self-tape appropriate outfit. I have to put on something that's more plain. Okay, I'm just gonna wear this. You know, it's plain, but not too plain, and I only have to be framed right here, so they're not gonna see the rest of my outfit, so they're not gonna see the rest of my outfit, so it doesn't matter. I have to rearrange my entire room so that I can film self-tapes. So first things first, I have to move my drum set. Ow. Then I have to move my guitars onto my bed. Then I have to move this tiger drum from my shelf, and then I have to see all of the things on my shelf that could possibly be knocked over, and I have to knock them over manually so that they don't end up falling. Then I drag this over here, and I have to move this. And last but not least, I have to move my entire mirror. Now I have a plain wall. There's my tutorial on how to set up for a self-tape when you've optimized everything, or how do you say, the opposite of optimized everything, and it's really inconvenient. But okay, I'm gonna do my tape, and then we shall reconvene and keep talking before I get my scrapbook and my multivitamins. I need to remember that.
Hello. So I did my self-tape, and then I started talking for 10 minutes straight, and lo and behold, I didn't even plug the fucking microphone in. So, yeah. And here's a part here where I'm chasing around a fly in my room that's been tormenting me since the dawn of time. I spend about 3 minutes, probably 4 minutes, trying to kill it unsuccessfully.
And literally fuck my life from the back, because the mic wasn't on. I guess I didn't talk about anything that important. All I did was try to kill the fly that's been bothering me. I cannot believe that what a fucking rookie mistake. Why would you do something like that? I will retell this story, right? Doing commercial auditions as an actor is some of the most valuable practices in humiliation that you'll ever be able to get, right? You'll get a commercial audition that's like, pretend you're biting into a big juicy burger, and because the food is so good, you come to the realization that you should be nicer to your mother. I have to, and there's times where I have to go out and buy things for commercial auditions because they'll be like, we want to see your right hand holding like a can of soda. Granted, it's only $2, but it's still kind of like, dang, I guess I have to like spend money to, you know, most likely end up not getting the part or whatever, but that's just how it is. But you, like, sometimes you just have to do it through imagination, right? And no like actual props. It's like, okay, so I'm in front of the camera. Oh my God, this is the most delicious burger. Like, obviously I'm not doing it like that. I'm being more earnest, obviously. But it's like, wow. Wow. And sometimes it's like, you do the thing that you're supposed to do, and then the reality hits you. Like, say, I've gotten auditions before where it's like, pretend that you're at a golf course and you just got a hole-in-one. I have to earnestly be like, oh my God, I got it! Hole-in-one, guys, this is what family is about. This is all what life is about. And then you just turn the camera off. You do your thing, you get hit with the reality, and you say, well, this is what actors are doing on 2 p.m. on a Wednesday. And this is not to say that I don't appreciate the opportunities. Obviously, my focus is way more on like the narrative stuff. The commercial stuff is just, you know, every actor, I guess, has to do that or whatever. But yeah, it's really interesting. It's really interesting. The other commercial audition I did, they wanted pictures. Sorry. They wanted pictures of me throwing a ball at the camera in kind of like an action shot, right? And that's fine. That's for your vision, totally, right? The thing for me, obviously now, I have to go out and take my ring light and my camera, set up in a public park, me throwing the ball. And mind you, I'm doing this in a park where that's kind of not the vibe, right? It's a lot of like families, intramural soccer teams, where people go to that park to like actually do physical activities, rather than there's some parks where maybe there's more artists there. People go there to like sketch or shoot a short film or, you know, paint, whatever. This is not that kind of park, right? It's like, we're here for our, you know, 35 plus softball team, and we give all of our shits about it. It's fucking serious, right? It's more like that sort of vibe. So I have people who are like staring at me, and mind you, I would be staring too, right? Because what the hell are you doing? They probably think that I'm just some sort of like vain ass influencer or something, recording myself throwing a ball for some reason. So I had to throw the ball at the camera. The ball's rolling away. I have to scooch forward with my tail between my legs to pick up the ball, set up, just to do it again. It's very interesting. It's very interesting. And sometimes while those things are, you know, obviously it takes more effort out of your day or whatever, they are a great practice in humiliation, because it's humiliating enough to do it in the privacy of your own home, let alone in public. Are any of you guys also actors out there? Please comment down below. Let me know some like a time that you were just like hit with the reality of, I guess this is my job, right? It is so interesting sometimes. I was gonna take you guys back to the kitchen. Regardless of gender, I was gonna take all of you guys back to the kitchen, although some people believe that maybe only about half of you should be in the kitchen, right? But I think that I'm gonna go get the scrapbook and my multivitamins now. So I'll go ahead and take you guys with me. I am so sorry. I'm still, what's that called? Getting used to filming myself in public. So I am probably going to be, you know, sort of, you know, camera at the ceiling, only showing half of my face, you know, like freaking FaceTime. So it is gonna go ahead and be raining. It is raining, but that's not gonna stop me from getting my freaking girlfriend scrapbook and my multivitamins. So we're gonna be on the hunt.
Maybe I'll even get like a sweet treat too, because there's a Haiti near the place I'm going. And while I'm gonna go ahead and be Chinese. So I do want Haiti. Sorry, it's kind of windy too, so I'm gonna go ahead and be looking a little crazy. Something else that I wrote down, right, was I hate when restaurants have their menus on like a TV and it's kind of like a slideshow, right? Because and then the slide like changes and it's like, baby, I wasn't done reading that, right? It's like another thing, when restaurants have really small font, when the menu is up behind the counter and the font is so small, I feel like I'm at the freaking optometrist, you know, I need someone to say, which one is better, 1 or 2? Because I have no idea what that says, quite frankly. I really miss the handheld menus. I miss flipping through the pages, right? I feel like when people, sorry, I hope that you can hear me. It's literally, I feel like having the menu on the TV behind the counter is kind of like the equivalent of having a Kindle instead of the actual book. Sometimes mama wants to turn a page, right? Sometimes I need to get my fingers in between those pages. What can I say? I'm a bookworm. I love to have my hand on those pages. Me when I lie, because, well, I did start reading the Joy Luck Club. That's something that, this is the first book that I've really read since I had like a reading frenzy, maybe like, God, 2 years ago. I'm the only one here. No, I'm not. I feel like people are staring at me, but I'm just gonna tell myself it's because perhaps maybe they find me alluring. Thinking about Cat's Eye, they are so cunt. There's just something, I think it's like the mixture of like K-pop and Western like media practices or something. I don't know, but they're just like, it's constantly serve after serve after serve with those girls. And some of them are even openly LGBT, that only maximizes their servage. I'm thinking about that song because of Cat's Eye's new Gap campaign. My milkshakes bring all the boys to the yard. So, there's people around. So, is that gonna go ahead and be is that a euphemism for boobs? Is that a euphemism for butt? Milkshakes bring all the boys to the yard. Could it be that a lactating woman in the yard is playing double dutch? That her milk is shaking? It's a very curious case. The curious case of not Benjamin Button, but milkshakes bringing the boys to the yard. Michael, the man we need. On the hunt, on the hunt, on the hunt. Ooh. Okay, Galinda shout out. Feeling witchy. Come in for a bite. Oh my God. So the scrapbooking stuff is downstairs. I'm such a fool. Guys, I can't find it. I followed around a family who was also looking for scrapbook stuff, and I still couldn't find it, even after stalking them. I don't know what to do. Freaking jackpot. Okay, which one should we get? Some of these are quite large. My book is honestly not that big. Let's see, there's maybe some smaller ones, because these are like big fat binders, like this is like for your baby type shit. Well, I guess she is my baby of sorts. A rainy day here in the Big Apple.
Mission accomplished. Sorry. I want to read something from my note. Okay. I might have said this before. I'm so sorry. It's very hard for me to keep track of what I've said and not said, because I feel like things just kind of fly out of my mouth, and it's instead of in one ear, out the other, it's like out my mouth and just out into the ether, and it doesn't go anywhere else, right? There's a comment that I got on one of my videos where I'm talking about gay pride and capitalism. The comment is as follows: you can't be talking about capitalism when you own that many purses. And you got me there. You damn well got me there. And honestly, you could say that about a lot of things that I own, right? You can't be talking about capitalism when you have that much chapstick. You can't be talking about capitalism when you have this many pairs of jeans, right? I'm self-aware. Okay, I'm gonna eat first, and I'm gonna move my stuff over here because I don't want it to get stained by the broth. So, but before I have my main meal, of course I have to have my appetizer. Okay, so on the directions, it says to eat 3 at a time, but I don't know. There's 90 gummies. If I eat 3 at a time, that means it's basically gone in a month. So to save money, I'm gonna just do 2 at a time. So, no, this tastes too good. I'm having the third one. I'm having the third one. Wow. Good Lord, Mary, Joseph, and the other guys. These are good. What in the hell? I'm kind of freaked out. All right, all aboard the train to freaking Tasty Town, Yummaliciousville, Delicioso County, right? What's the next thing I have written here? Yep, I'm not looking. When it's crowded in Trader Joe's, they start directing traffic like there was a 6-car pileup and no functioning traffic lights. Yeah. When Trader Joe's is really crowded, it's like the moment you step into the establishment, you're already like in a line. You know what I mean? The moment you step foot into a Trader Joe's on a crowded day, it's like you're essentially in one huge line to even get into the official line, right? Because we're all kind of following each other in a somewhat single file. I would say, okay, there's 2 lanes when you first step into Trader Joe's. There's a passing lane, and then there's like the regular lane that's like next to the aisle when you need to get something. You need to find your rightful place and kind of merge in so that you can get the cauliflower gnocchi, because a lot of people want the fucking gnocchi. So you're gonna have to wait your turn. Say you forget something, you have to make a Yui. Sometimes you might even have to go down a one-way, right? You might have to go into another aisle to sort of circle around. Trader Joe's, especially in a city, it really is like, LA traffic. There's a Taylor Swift concert. There's construction going on. It can be a little overwhelming. And that's why sometimes if you need to try and go on like a weekday during work hours, right? And then still somehow it can be crowded because everyone in this city is a creative, right? They don't have normal work hours. Okay, so this isn't really something to elaborate on. Rather, it's just a joke that I wrote down. Need to tell a sex-addicted straight man to think outside of the box. Get it? Because box is a nickname for vagina. Also, this is a little bit off topic, but on the topic of like sex, right? I've been noticing, someone pointed out that a lot of words that have to do with sex are kind of like violent sounding. Like the new thing that people are saying is like getting cracked, right? So if I say like, oh, I'm about to get cracked by my girlfriend tonight, I guess that means that I'm about to like, we're gonna fuh, right? And so like cracked, hit from the back, pounded, tapped, banged, all of this stuff. It sounds kind of like whatever happened to made love, right? Or can we make a word that's like not as like, I don't know, video game combo sounding, like hit, pound, tap. What about, can we make a cute one? Like, let's see, not getting cracked, not getting pounded, like getting booped. Oh, I'm on my way to the club. Hopefully I get booped tonight. Even you can get poetic with it, right? You know, I'm about to seek out a sinful pleasure of the flesh with another being, right? Or I wrote poetry with my tongue on her skin. You know, something so ew. Instead of throwing stones at my crush's window, I'm going to go the extra mile and use a catapult to launch a boulder at their house. I don't remember writing that. You know, this is something that renters might not be able to experience, right? Because how am I gonna have my lover be throwing pebbles at my window when I live in an apartment complex of over 70 units and I'm up on the 31st floor, right? Then it's sort of just a thing where you just call me to come down, right? But I do really like the idea of someone throwing pebbles at another person's like window. Like, and I'm talking about when this was not considered a romantic trope, right? You know, like the first person to try it out, you know, hearing an annoying grating noise of like tapping on your window. They open the window and they're so irate. What the fuck do you want? And then it's like the crush being like, oh, sorry. I just wanted to maybe see if you wanted to get a milkshake. Because honestly, it is sort of an annoying, irritating, grating noise. Because when I lived in a proper house, like my parents' house, when I was growing up and all, we would have this bird who would just come to our window. And I don't know if he's trying to send us a message from the beyond or what, but he would come up to our window and just peck at our window constantly. And it would be so annoying. And I would literally have the thought of, this must be how like popular cheerleaders, hot blonde girls in the movie feel, because I'm sure they have so many boys throwing pebbles at their window that it just sounds like a constant kind of ruckus. But okay, I'm gonna do the secret code, the secret question today. The secret question for today, on the theme of romance and like gestures and stuff like that. What is a romantic gesture? What's the most romantic thing that you've done for someone, or the most romantic thing that someone has done for you? A tteokbokki, aka a claymation finger. All right, I'm gonna go to the more recent things that I've written, because some of these things are a bit beyond me, because I forgot that I even said that. Sorry, that was kind of gross. Oh, okay. There's a cafe that I know that has a bathroom code of 5678. And if I was the barista there, when people would ask me for the code, I would go, and a 5678. And then they would be like, okay, the code's 5678. And then I would say, no, it's actually 1224. But no, I think that, why don't we bring a little more whimsy into our lives, right? Break out into song like a musical. A 5678, no matter if that's the bathroom code or not. What I will say is that, wait, I have something else written down here. Oh, right here on the topic of breaking out into song, right? I watch this podcast called Upstairs Neighbors, and sometimes they do this thing where they just start singing a song that has to do with whatever it is that they're talking about, right? Watching Upstairs Neighbors has inspired me to start singing songs that apply to my state of mind in a musical style, just sort of bursting out into song, right? For example, if I remember something, it's all coming back to me now. When my friend Mary is proud of me. Proud Mary. When I'm admitted to the hospital with a fever of 104. I'm been up, burning up for you, baby. And I'm talking to the nurse technician. Oh my gosh, wait. Okay, so the thing that I have written under this. So there's this guy who always hits on me as if it's his first time seeing me every time I pass him. For example, he will say things like, I've never seen anyone like you. Yes, you have. You saw me last week. Maybe this guy has amnesia, or maybe he just thinks I'm a different Asian woman every time I walk by. But he'll always ask me the same thing. He'll kind of make this like hooty hoo sort of noise, like whoo, that sort of thing. And then he'll ask me where I'm from. Then I say that I'm Chinese and Taiwanese. And then it's been twice now that he's confused Thailand with Taiwan. And the funny thing is that the main message of the hitting on seems to center around this idea that, sorry, it's just funny the way that I'm talking about this. It makes it sound like I'm some sort of documentarian talking about like the life cycle of giraffes, right? It centralizes around this idea that I'm unique, right? Oh, I've never seen anyone like you before. Girl, you're so unique. You're so fine and in a way that I've never seen before, and all of these things. And it almost gets to a point where I'm like, you can't possibly mean that, because you've seen me several times in it, and you act like it's a new time that you've seen me every single time, right? If you truly meant it, then you would maybe have some sort of semblance of like, oh, it's you again, right? And not like being mind blown. Maybe he's playing a trick on me. I don't know. But every time the last time that it happened, I started laughing. I started laughing because, you know, just I was like, we've met before. If you ask someone where they went to school and they say a state school like Florida State University, something fun you can do is then ask, and what state is that in? I'm making a video soon about rage bait. It's a great way to rage bait someone or to troll someone, right? Kind of just ask like a really stupid questions. For example, your friend tells you, oh, I'm going to see the Statue of Liberty. Then you can ask in return, oh, cool, is that a statue or something? Just a thought there, right? Let's see. Oh, this is something I strongly believe in. Saying, you cold to someone who has hard nipples, that is so sick, twisted, and deranged, right? Because I might be. I might not be. I could also be quite warm, or even just temperate, right? Some people, their bodies are just always ready to serve some sort of cartridge, right? Because sometimes your nipples show through your shirt, even if you're like not that cold. But now you saying you cold to me, it makes me feel self-conscious because I guess you're making eye contact with my nipples through my shirt. So why are you doing that? You know, it's not like I've Regina Georged my shirt without the bra, right? It's not like my nipples are just sticking out. Hey-o, everyone, come take a look-see, right? There's still fabric there, right? And because there's fabric there, you should have the courtesy of not asking me, you cold, if you feel that they're making too much of an appearance, right? Because then what do I even say to that? Like, oh yes, my nipples are poking through my shirt right now. Do you want validation? What do you want? Do you want a questioning? Huh, am I cold? Well, I haven't really thought about that. I'm gonna finish my other things and finish eating and stuff off camera. What time is it? Dang. I was gonna try to go into the city early so that I could do some drumming and vlog it, but I don't think I'm gonna have time. It's also so rainy outside. I'm tired. But you know what? I never post music stuff on here. I'm just gonna take this opportunity to post the last drumming video that I took. So I'm gonna, the next following clips are going to be of me drumming. If you're not interested in that, then you can skip on ahead. But yeah, okay, let me say one last thing. When we're hungry, we should start saying, I'm hung for short. I'm hung. You know, just walking around with your family on vacation, perfect thing to do maybe at like Disneyland, Universal Studios Orlando. Oh my God, I'm hung. This heat is making me so hung. Oh my God, I'm so hung. Can we stop by somewhere soon? Or, you know, you walk into a restaurant and you say to the staff, oh my God, thank God that you guys are here. I'm so hung. I'm really hung.
I just woke up. That's why I might look a bit ghastly, a bit gnarly.
They could describe,
but not in the cunt way by Cat's Eye, right? I just realized I forgot to do an outro. So I'm gonna do the outro now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's yapping video. Your second one in a row, you spoiled lot. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And something that I wanted to do, another thing that you can comment down below besides the secret code, comment my next clickbait title. Comment my next clickbait title, and then I'll use that one for the next video. How do I choose though? Maybe I guess whichever one gets a lot of likes. And isn't that how it always is, right? With the numbers and the algorithm. But yeah, okay. Until next time.